last year somebody was cosplaying Chris Chan at
Yeah.
Anime Fest. They were.
Chris Chan.
Did you see
Oh
them,
my God.
Brandon?
I think I did. Yeah. And I you know what? I might just bring my Sonichu medallion this year as well, just to high five the guy if he's cosplaying as Chris Chan again.
How do you spell that? Like,
Chris Chan?
Moonbeam, no.
Do not don't do it. Do not type that into Google.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Oh, really?
You will
Yeah,
fall
don't
down
do
a
it.
rabbit hole that you will never emerge from.
Well,
There's no
Now our
Oh, she's going down that rabbit hole.
No.
You can tell she's taking the bait.
What's good, Humble fam? How about y'all come on in and let's have us another visit here on the Humble Show. I am Grant Fletcher, being joined by my co-hosts Moonbeam Hallows, Brandon Cox, and our special guest, MrHartgrave, is returning to the Humble Show once again. How are we, everyone?
hey, doing cool.
hey, good.
Been a little minute, MrHartgrave. How are things for you?
Things are remarkably different. I'm working so much harder now than I ever have before. If you want to see all of that hard work, go to MrHartgrave from Parts Unknown on YouTube, or check me out on Instagram if you have no attention span. And you can see some of the amazing content that I've been putting together. Like, no lie, I spend like days on these things now. I've taken my content creation to the next level, but I am dead inside.
Yeah, that's the
I have
thing.
no attention span.
Sacrifice you have to make.
People
Totally
people
fine.
look at it, people love it, but it just leaves you a husk of a human being, is what it does.
Yeah, I got nothing left. It's all on camera. Other than that, I just stare at the wall and wait for the views to go up. And when they don't, I fall into a deep depression, and then I make another video.
Yeah.
Find it hard to talk to anyone about anything other than wrestling anymore? Is that a problem for you now?
Oh, well, I have a second channel where I talk about video games, so I literally have to talk about other things, but
Right.
I'm always thinking about wrestling.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I find
My
that,
wife
like,
actually prefers that I talk about wrestling over video games. She hates video games, but I've made her an AEW fan. We sat here and we watched the I Quit match between Christian and Edge, or Adam Copeland, and she literally like cried with joy. So like she's into it.
yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out this weekend and catch up on it. Brandon seems like
Oh,
he's
it's
concerned
good.
about what an I Quit match is.
No.
Oh,
I just heard that Chris Chan was involved in this match.
Oh no, not Chris Chan. Somebody else.
Christian Cage,
Oh, Christian.
Father of the
Yeah,
Year.
Christian Cage. Yeah. Yeah, Chris
I'm
Chan
doing
is not
AEW
involved
here.
in
Nobody
in,
understands what I'm doing in this room, so that's
That's okay. Look, I'll tell you this. We're talking about Chris Chan. We have our next show.
I'm glad you said it right.
Is Mobile Bay Anime Fest, and last year somebody was cosplaying Chris Chan at Mobile Bay Anime Fest. They were.
Chris Chan.
Did you see
Oh
them,
my God.
Brandon?
I think I did. Yeah. And I you know what? I might just bring my Sonichu medallion this year as well, just to high five the guy if he's cosplaying as Chris Chan again.
How do you spell that? Like,
Chris
I
Chan?
no,
Moonbeam, no.
Don't do it. Do not type that into Google.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Oh, really?
You will
Okay.
fall
don't
down
do
a
it.
rabbit hole that you will never emerge from.
Well,
There's no.
Now our
Oh, she's going down that rabbit hole.
No.
You can tell she's taking the bait.
It's like
Now
the tone and
making
the
mental
expression on
notes,
your
baby. I'm
face.
gonna be up all night.
She cannot resist.
I'm not talking about all night. I'm talking about weeks. Okay.
no years.
There was a docu-series on YouTube about Chris Chan. How many parts is it now, Brandon?
Geno Samuels, I think it's like 87 or 88, and they just got to I don't know if you can call it the good stuff, but they sure got to the stuff.
It's a wild ride. Okay.
Yeah.
I can
Is this
tell you
a
right now.
YouTuber? 'Cause some of these YouTubers be wild out here, boys.
Just drop how you spell that in the notes.
Okay. All right. I will drop you how you spell it. And then after that, I take no responsibility for what happens to you.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
But I tell you what, if you want to go down an AEW rabbit hole, you come
Yes.
over to my channel. I'll have some footage of the Christian and Edge match.
Oh, that's true.
Especially if you have no attention span or if you have no access to AEW.
Yes.
Come check it out. I got the highlights and we're going to have a good time.
Good,
Yeah.
because I got the attention span of a goldfish.
Then my
Yeah.
Instagram's going to be for you.
There
It's
you go.
popping off. It's great.
He's going to have the clips and everything. I've seen it all.
I will.
Yeah, Brandon and I quit matches where you have to beat up your opponent to the point where they say they don't want anymore.
It's
Ooh,
like
man.
Crying Uncle.
Yeah. Yes. They
Except
have
it
to
has
say,
more like
"I quit,"
barbed
in
wire
order
and
for the match
chairs.
to end. Yes.
I feel like the only way to truly win that match is to not participate.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. You know,
Yeah.
there was a
It's
board
reserved for
with
the
some
most
nails.
violent and personal of feuds.
Right. Yeah. It's when they go all out. I mean, they really, really start to. They do get hurt. It happens. We've seen. We saw wrestling firsthand in January.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it's tough, man. It's a rough thing to go through, and it's crazy because we're talking about we're gonna see Sting very soon, right? In May, we're gonna see Sting at Southernerds Fest over in Biloxi. And I've talked about this before. I mean, who knows? A lot of people are saying that they don't know. I've heard Jeff Jarrett say he doesn't know how many more signings Sting's going to be doing anymore now that he's retired. And so, yeah, he just had his big retirement match. And it was I think, Mr. Hartgrave, you can back me up on this by saying it was a pretty crazy affair, right?
It made the news. One spot
Yes.
in particular trended pretty hard, and that was, of course, done by Darby Allin, although Sting had some pretty big spots in the match as well, as he'll
Yeah.
point out. I mean, he went through a few tables. He didn't take it light on himself, right? He went through a pane of glass as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
But Darby Allin definitely stole the show, and some people were mad about that, but Sting wasn't, so who really cares?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the thing is, right, your last match, you're supposed to at least get somebody, as they say in wrestling, get somebody over, like get the other,
Somebody's
like
going
push
out.
someone else forward, if you're going
Someone's
to be bowing out. But in Moonbeam,
I feel
Brandon,
like he did it for Darby.
what's
I
that?
feel he
Yeah, he
did
did
good.
it for Darby for sure.
Yeah, he did it
And
for Darby.
it worked out okay. And Moonbeam,
It
Brandon,
worked
I don't
out
know if
great.
we
I mean,
talked
it's
about
known as
this.
the greatest final match, right? I mean, it's up there with Ric
Is
Flair.
it? I don't know. Well, I mean, Ric Flair's, yeah, if you count the Shawn Michaels match. as
No, the
final
Shawn
match, yes.
Michaels one, not the.
But then he had
other one.
another last match too.
No,
So
no, not that one. No.
he's like Kiss. He's
That's
retired
known
a
as.
bunch of
I mean,
times.
how does Ric Flair have the greatest and worst last match?
I don't know. It's
He's
it's real
just that
bizarre.
good.
It's real bizarre. What were you thinking, Moonbeam? You have something on your mind, I can tell.
It's just that I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Well, look,
Well, look, I know who Ric Flair is because we've had him at shows, and but as far as like, I didn't watch. I didn't
Oh,
watch.
you got to just go to my channel and check out my video on it. I've got clips of the
Yeah,
match
yeah.
and everything. It's right. You can watch it in 10 minutes.
it's it's not the
I
whole
did a
like
prep
affair
this
that they
show.
turn it out to be. But I'll
Yeah.
tell you this. So like Moonbeam, Brandon, I don't know if y'all are aware of this. So as two people who have met Sting several times and worked with him several times,
Yeah.
the thing about Sting's character is that there's actually like something supernatural about the character. I don't know if y'all know that or not.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Okay, so like, he's kind of, obviously based a lot on the Crow, kind of like this understated sort of supernatural element there. He can seemingly appear out of nowhere from time to time. He can, he's
in the rafters.
yeah, up in the rafters or just drop from the ceiling or whatever. He has some level of like invulnerability. It's like hard to hurt him. He's also able to recover from harm and injury a lot faster than like a normal human being could. That
And he
is
has
the
like
rep on Sting.
super strength. His punches
Yeah.
hit harder than his size would tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that angle.
So
Yeah.
that's been the beat on Sting since like the late '90s, since he became the Crow
transformation.
character, the Sting. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And now he doesn't actually. Now he says he's gone on record and saying that he wasn't really thinking the Crow. It was another wrestler, Scott Hall, who came to him and said, "Hey, you should wear this face paint because."
Yeah.
And he was inspired by the Crow. But
Yeah.
Sting hadn't seen the movie. He thinks of it more like a Batman kind of thing.
Yeah,
And supernatural. So he has that. So he's not, the Crow wasn't his thing. That was another wrestler. The look is like kind of a Crow and No one ever mentions this, and it actually really bothers me. It's not just the crow; it's Marilyn Manson. The face paint is Marilyn Manson inspired. Look at Marilyn Manson in the 90s and look at Sting, and there is more Marilyn Manson in that face paint than there is the crow.
When you think about the time period, it makes sense.
It's right there. Like, it's more inspired by that. And even the Marilyn Manson face paint, there's some Alice Cooper face paint that is that style as well.
I'll take the Alice Cooper over the Marilyn. We went and saw Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
On Halloween one year, and it was the sloppiest concert I've ever been to in my entire life.
Do you know who he's touring with now?
Who?
Yeah.
Five Finger Death Punch.
Of course he is.
Look, they're the only people that'll take them now. Okay?
Sounds about
Wake
right.
up, snowflakes.
And,
If
Frank, what did I tell you? I was, I said this was going to happen.
What?
Oh yeah.
Well, Mr. Hartgrave was like, "Oh, so we're talking about Sting's last match," and I was like, "Well, I mean, technically, but it's our show, so
yeah." Look, if Sting had one more little twist, if it turned out that his get up was more inspired by the second wave of black metal, the dude was just really into Immortal and joined, and they're like, "No, man, you can't." He's like, "Well, I'm not going to take it off now. I'm going to go ahead and start, continue with the day job."
Well, there was a period of time there where Sting was influenced by the Joker, Heath Ledger's rendition of the Joker in TNA,
which not too closely associated with the second wave of black metal, but close,
somewhere along those lines.
We want to talk about metal now. There is a metal connection with Sting, and it was in this final match, and it's been in some other matches. I believe in TNA. He came out to Search and Destroy by Metallica, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
That was his theme song for a while back in the day. So when it hit and when he walked out and it hit, it was like a real big deal that they used Seek and Destroy by Metallica. It was dope. And actually it was really cool. So for his final match, the music hits and you see Sting walk out, but you see the surfer version of Sting walk out. You know what I'm talking about? He used to have a short,
that bleached blonde.
Yeah. And then you realize, oh, wait, that's one of his sons dressed like him in his old gear. And then on the other side of the stage, his other son comes out dressed like Sting in the red and black, which Sting was with us wearing red and black in Birmingham last time. Yeah. So we had the Wolfpack version of Sting. And then Sting himself comes out in the middle, holding his tag team championship. And then they hit the ring. So that was the cool big entrance, and then his sons actually hit the ring with him, and then they started attacking his opponents in the ring.
I love it. I love it.
I need to watch.
It was great.
It's good. We can watch it together in Mobile Bay if you want to. I have it, saved.
We can kind of tangle things even further, because I'm sure that at least two of you know who claims to have almost been the new bassist for Metallica.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
You said that him and Lars went real back. We went real far back, and Lars is like, "Look, man, I know you got a career and everything, but hey, could you, lay down some tracks?" And a few years later, Lars is like, I do not recall any of this.
It's funny you mentioned bass players. We're going to do a lot of trivia this episode. I believe we are. Did you know that Sting pays Sting $1 every year to use the name Sting?
Which right on.
Instead of Stinger. Yeah, it gives him $1. That's one of those trading.
I think you think it's going the other way. It actually goes the opposite way. The musician Sting pays the wrestler Sting $1.
Oh,
it's true. And when Sting the musician found out there was a wrestler named Sting, through his children had posters of Sting on the wall. He's like, I gotta meet this guy. I guess more English than that, right? I'll go meet this guy. Yeah. And he flies Sting out to England or whatever. I don't know where it was. I'm just making stuff up now. But he flies him out, and there's pictures of Sting with Sting. And Sting's got a bass guitar and everything, and they're taking pictures. It's really cool.
I love it. I imagine that it looks very much akin to the pictures of Kenny G with Miles Davis. I don't know if you've ever seen those pictures, but Miles Davis is not happy
Oh no, these guys are very happy. These guys are giddy. I mean, I think Sting was like, he didn't know what to think. Like the wrestler Sting was like kind of nervous and everything. And then he meets this guy. He's like, "All right, you're Sting. Hey, it's great. You know, oh, he's so big. Here, hold my guitar."
Yes.
Yeah,
Awesome.
okay, look, if we're talking about this kind of stuff right now, I do have to mention this. So, I don't know, Moonbeam and Brandon, if y'all have seen this before, but there is an old Sprite commercial.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's a little boy and there's a ring on the doorbell and he opens the door and Sting is standing there at the door. And he's like, "You won the contest, wrestle Sting. Like, are you ready to wrestle?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they like circle each other in the living room. And then Sting proceeds to just toss this little boy all over the living room.
Yeah. Just beats the tar out of the kid. Yeah. I remember that.
Y'all.
That's like, called ruining the business right there. He should be ashamed of himself.
It's like 30 seconds of your life that you would not regret if you go look up this commercial if you've never seen it.
Sounds like something that Jim Cornette hates.
It's fantastic. Yeah. Jim Cornette hates everything, but as a character, I think not as a real person, as a character, he hates everything. So
yeah.
No.
MrHartgrave goes, "I don't know. I think he really does hate everything."
I think he's actually an awful person. I don't know. Prove me wrong.
I don't know.
He said some pretty off stuff, guys.
But yeah, it's true.
I don't know either.
They did a thing in the last match where they brought out some panes of glass. Right?
They did.
They fight all over the place. They set up some panes of glass like across, like they put some like folding chairs outside the ring, facing each other, and then they set a pane of glass across it, so it's laying down across the chairs. And then like Darby Allin, Sting's tag team partner, gets in the ring, so he's already elevated, climbs up a ladder, so he's elevated, on top of that.
Yeah.
And then tries to dive out onto his opponents. And of course, they move out of the way. So he just goes from the ladder all the way down to the actual floor through a pane of glass.
And he's fine. Wrestling's fake. Get over it.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
Is that glass? Is that candy glass?
It was candy glass,
shredded. He was shredded up afterwards.
I think we have to have a better appreciation for candy glass.
Yeah, here's the thing.
If you watch the spot, you're gonna be like, that glass looks real enough.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Also, I've felt rock candy before that. It felt pretty sharp. So I imagine that you fall on the wrong shard. That's gonna be some real glass for the most part.
The thing about that sugar glass is that it actually it's still glass. Like it breaks easier, but it is still glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
All that happens, I believe, the main difference is that it breaks into cubes.
Yeah.
So that the splash damage isn't going to be like, if it was real glass, then the audience would have been like, impaled.
Yeah.
The only person injured allegedly was Darby Allin. There's something going on where somebody's claiming someone in the audience was injured. I don't know. I haven't heard anything official about that.
Yeah.
But if you watch Darby Allin after he takes this fall, he is bleeding from about 200, 300 different places.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
It is insane. It is I don't want to say it's the craziest thing that's ever happened in wrestling, because it's not. Like, there's stuff that is going on the independent scene in like a garage or a high school gymnasium right now that is far crazier than this.
Yeah.
Dealing with light tubes and pizza cutters and stuff. So as far as a mainstream wrestling spot, this is probably the most extreme mainstream spot that there's ever been.
Has there ever been an instance of like a guy like going up to the guy who's like fallen through the candy glass and like in an attempt to like really get in his head, or at least pretend to
like,
start eating the glass like he's like, and then like he does it a handful more times, and then like his opponent's just like, hold on, this guy just wants to eat the candy glass. It's not. It isn't even part of the show anymore.
He came up with this whole idea because he just wanted to eat candy glass.
He's just hungry. He's got low blood sugar.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a diabetic match. The whole thing, you have two diabetics wrestle each other, and the object is to force candy down the other one's throat. Yeah,
but like
the edible.
The prefix "die" is in all caps in red.
Yeah,
diabetic.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if it's edible. I know that after Darby has bled all over it, you probably don't want to eat it.
What's a little blood?
I want to
on
go
the
get a
brain?
Hep B shot.
Not good.
Yeah. Spray everything down with Bactine or whatever else. But as Mr. Hartgrave said earlier, then later in the match, they set up another pane of glass in the corner and they just flip Sting like just upside down. They just flip him, somersault him into this pane of glass. So Sting actually went through a pane of glass in that match. So yeah, that was another thing that happened.
Exploded into that's the one that it really exploded into the audience. I think
Yes.
that's the one that they're claiming that somebody got hurt or something, but I don't know.
I've yet to hear anything official about it, but that's the rumor.
There's a lot of people that want AEW to fail. Like let's just talk about it, right? Tony Khan has a great quote where he says, "To be AEW is to be under constant attack." And that's what it is. There are people claiming that they are at that event who are not at that event. There are people claiming they were hurt at that event who are not at that event. And it is something that happens that people like to make up stories about the things that happen at AEW.
I mean, that's just business. Like anytime there's some sort of split or competition, it's
yeah, because they're not the legacy name in town, right? So for that reason, that's just people are gonna.
You know what I find interesting? You know what I find interesting is that people have put on rose-colored glasses when it comes to WCW. They do that all the time to compare AEW. Like this isn't like the good old days of WCW.
People definitely have a romanticized view of some of the things that happen.
That's a rough one too, and it's relevant too because that was the house that Sting built.
Sure.
So Sting built WCW, and that was his show. Up until it wasn't. Like there's a good when AEW went off the air, it's because they weren't focusing on guys like Sting. Sting wasn't the guy that was on TV or whatever when that place went down in flames, which it did. And there's a lot of reasons, some of it due to budget cuts, but also a lot of really bad decisions and a lot of bad TV that they made.
Yeah. They brought in some people that they probably should not have brought in to make creative decisions, and that's what happens when you do those sorts of things. At least let them run wild like that. So anyway, I think basically what I'm saying is we're going to have a lot to talk with Sting about. And of course, what ends up happening though, right, is he triumphs. Sting wins the whole thing, of course.
Of course. That's actually a big deal. Like he didn't want to win the match.
It's not standard. It's not customary to win the last match. But I kind of feel like that's more of a bygone kind of thing. People don't really.
But they had to talk him into it. Like he's old school. He wanted to lose. He wanted to go out on his back. You're supposed to go out on your back. And the Young Bucks, who everybody hates for no good damn reason, talk Sting into winning. Them and Tony
the
Khan
Young
were
Bucks being the opponents. They are for real executive vice presidents of AEW. And Sting he was undefeated in AEW. So
really, ooh.
Yeah. So now, granted, he didn't wrestle a ton, right? And they're all like tag matches. So
yeah, but I mean, the man's got superpowers, so he's got that on his side.
But he does have superpowers. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You want to chime in on any of this?
He can produce doubles of himself from time to time too. Every now and then there was just like a double of Sting. Sometimes you think it's a double.
I think I've seen those clips.
Sometimes you think it's a double and it's the real Sting.
Yeah.
He takes off the mask and there's face paint under the mask.
New year, new me, baby.
Right. So it's but he won, retired as a champion, and all was well in the world, and we're going to see him in Biloxi, May 25th and 26th.
Yeah,
Southern Nerds Fest. It's going to be rad. I'm really excited.
You guys are going to say hi for me, right?
Oh yeah, I'm going to say hi for you. I'm going to say hi. I'll say hi to John Ratzenberger for you too. He's going to be there. Totally unrelated, but I'll say.
I'm gonna break out my alter ego.
Fly down, Frank. Just come.
Do you want to come to Biloxi?
I'm very excited.
I'll put you to work. I mean, like
Mr. Hartgrave. It's a holiday weekend. Okay.
Are you guys gonna fly me out?
No.
No, but
you can room with the rest of my.
You can room with me. That's fine.
Pizza.
Yeah. You won't have to. Get a room or whatever. You can room with me. It's fine.
Yeah. Put you in the bed with Grant.
It'd be all good. It'd work out.
Strictly business. Machine doesn't make a
He's
ton of
selling
noise.
points. You might want to work on him.
He can get you some pizza. And
Do I get to meet Sting though?
yeah, absolutely.
Hey, yeah, sure.
We'll get you a fist bump from Sting, and I don't know.
Hmm.
Look, yeah. Here's the
Make
thing.
you do a panel,
Here's
put you to work.
you could do a panel. Look, you could do a panel.
Yeah.
Here's the real question, Mr. Hartgrave. How far would you go to meet Sting? To what lengths would you go to meet?
To what lengths would I go to meet Sting? I mean, you
Sting-
got me nervous when you say that he's not going to do much.
I'm telling
now that
you,
he's retired.
I
I'm
don't
worried.
feel like he will.
You see, I was not the biggest. I'm actually a bigger Sting fan now than I was when I was a kid. I wasn't. Look, I'm telling you, I've been dressing like this and looking like this since I was like 8 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
I am a hardcore, child of the dark. Okay.
Okay.
So when I saw Surfer Sting do this whole Crow transformation, The Crow is my number one favorite movie at the time. I've literally watched it 300 times or more. Okay. Multiple times in the theater. I went and saw it every day it was in the theater.
Well,
This was my
all the
jam.
time.
It's my jam.
Yeah.
That's right.
Dang.
That's right. Okay. So when I saw him do it, I thought it was disingenuous. I thought it was like, this guy's like putting on my face. This guy's like trying to pretend to be one of us. He's not one of us.
Yeah.
This is a Surfer Sting. Now I find out years later that that's not the case. This guy comes into AEW and he takes this young goth child, Darby Allin, under his wing, and he acts like his papa. And I realized this whole time I've been hating this man. He's my papa. This is a great man. This man did believe in it. He's still wearing the face paint. He wears it to bed. He lives it. He breathes it. He's all about it.
He goes to church in it.
The Surfer, I think, was more disingenuous than the other way around.
It might have been.
So yeah, I believe in Sting. I love Sting now. It's crazy. And you got me wanting to fly down and go see Sting. So if you're local to this and you don't go see Sting, I got no respect for you as a person. Get out there and go see Sting. Go meet a legend, maybe for the last time.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true because also Biloxi's
How was
really
that
dope
promo,
town,
dude? You're
too.
going to use that, right? That was amazing.
We're going to use
It was
all
good
that.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to chop that up into so many 30-second
Rush
clips
that.
and put it all out there. It's going to be awesome. Look, yeah, and hey, you like horror movies, right? We got Caroline Williams and Bob Elmore from Texas
That's
Chainsaw
right.
Massacre 2 going to be there.
We got a bunch of folks from Buffy.
Yeah. We do have a lot of Buffy folks there. Doug Jones is coming as well. Y'all, we worked with Caroline Williams at the Preserve Halloween Fest
Look,
last
you had
year.
me at Sting. I don't need anything other than
Yeah,
Sting.
no, right.
I thought I
can
had
just
you
have
at
one day.
sharing a bed with Grant.
That
Yeah,
sounds
true.
pretty sexy.
That's true. I'll bring the inflatable mattress. It'll be fine. I'll sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
Not going to.
What?
Y'all were gonna put up a pillow wall.
Just put up a pillow wall. Those aren't
No, we
pillows.
sleep after. Okay.
No. Look, hey, it's just.
I think we got him.
Okay.
That comment just really messed him up. I'm sorry.
I actually didn't hear what you said. Look, here's all right. Can I level with you all real quick about this show?
Yeah.
Whenever we record and then I go back and I put the show together, I realize there's so much of what everybody says that I miss. So if it ever seems like I just ignored something that somebody said completely or whatever, it's because I'm sitting there and I go back to edit the show and I'm like, didn't hear that. That was a thing that didn't happen to me at all, evidently. So yeah, that's
the good part,
life.
though.
Yeah, that's the life of me
Instantly
on this show.
block that out.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Instant amnesia. I mean, it's the best. That's the best way to go.
You know, it's all good, but that's just I want to explain to everybody, all the company we have present, and also the humble fam out there as well. If it seems like I totally ignored everything somebody said, it's because I didn't hear it. And that's what I'm going to tell you all from now until the day I die. The end.
Until the seas run dry.
Right. Oh my God. Look. Oh, I'm trying to readjust myself here. Okay. Anyway, but that's going to be a dope show. And then we got Mobile Bay Anime Fest before that as well, which I'm real excited about. Mobile Bay Anime Fest. We got some heavy hitters on Mobile Bay Anime Fest. We got Justin Cook coming, legend, absolute legend.
It's gonna be a real barn burner.
Mallory Rodak, Kyle Phillips. We just saw Kyle Phillips at Pensacon. He's dope.
He's rad.
And then Michelle Rojas as well. That's a good time, man. People love that show. They turn up in Daphne.
Oh yeah, it's a fun show. It's about the size of a basketball court.
Yeah,
and it's fun. It's got This chair. It's got a I'm doing concessions.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, man.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, that's my. I wish I could do them at every show, but
Are you gonna be like serving up the Pepsi with the flat ice?
no, none of that.
Okay.
What's the date on the
No.
show again? I'm like seriously considering it now.
Southern
Memorial
Roots
Day
Fest is May 25th and 26th.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking about Mobile or are we talking about
He was asking about Southernerds because he wants to come. He wants that
Mr.
pizza.
Hartgrave is not as big of an anime fan. What's that?
No.
That he wants that pizza. He wants to room with Grant.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Wants to get that. Wants to hit up that after party. Actually, I don't know if we're gonna.
If I'm coming to town, you're doing an after party, Grant.
I'm never any good at an after party. I
never go to the after party.
When it comes to after parties, we just kind of like talk about how it's going on while we're sitting around doing something
like
else.
we want everybody to go and have a good time. Like that's what it is. It's an extension of what we're doing. And it's a really good time for the people who are just still like amped up from the convention that just don't want it to end and go over there. But for us, like for me, I talked about Louisiana Comic-Con last, a couple episodes ago and how my brain just did not feel like it was braining anymore on Saturday.
They said the after party at Louisiana Comic-Con at the Green Room was lit.
I know. That's what they said.
Hey, good for them.
There's good events out there that happen after hours.
They had trivia and live music, and I mean the Green Room's always fun. I mean, we're too exhausted to go.
Yeah.
To go look for parking. That just sounded like my worst nightmare.
Yeah. Like if I had been seen at that after party and people tried to come up to me and talk to me about it, they would have been like, something's wrong with that guy.
Get out of my space, toilet space.
Yeah. No, like I don't think I would have said anything or done anything or whatever. I think that they would have had a very weird interaction with me because I would not have been able to like socially connect things together. And
you were uncharacteristically brain damaged.
It was weird. It was Saturday. Weird. I cannot explain. Like I'm telling you, I'm standing around at that Poké place, and the guy's like looking at me, and he's asking me questions, and I can understand. I'm like, that's English. I know it's English.
Oh yeah, because he was like, "Hey, what do you want in your Poké Bowl?" And Brent was like, "I don't know."
I was like, "I don't know what I want." He was like, and he kept going like, "Do you want 2 or 3? Do you want 2 or 3?" And I was like, I think I want 3. And then he was like, 3 what? And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And he goes, do you want 2 or 3?
Dude, it sounds like you're at the eye exam.
Yeah.
Like, what's better, 2 or 3? 2 or 3?
It was a really weird time.
You basically just said, hey, man, whatever you like in yours.
I kind of did. And then like I got to, like I didn't realize what all I got in my bowl until the very end, until I was like paying for it.
You got a cold cut combo.
It was
but I will say
down.
this. I will say this. It was good. It was very good.
Yeah.
So they came, look, Poké Geaux in Lafayette, Louisiana. Geaux spelled the Cajun way, Geaux. That's how we do it down here. We overcomplicate things, Mr. Hartgrave.
Yeah.
I recommend it. It was a good spot. He figured it out for me, but he really had to be very patient with me, and I appreciate that. And it was a lot of food too. Oh man, it was so much food. But
it should be for $30.
That's what I like. Did I spend $30?
I don't know.
There's no way. Oh man.
I think mine and Greg's
I don't even know how much I spent.
Might need to check your checkbook.
I might need to rebalance now, y'all. Something's going on here that I'm not aware of.
That much. It was good though.
Hey, I have a trivia game for us to play here. Okay. And last time Mr. Hartgrave was on, we did do a wrestling trivia game. Now, I figured we wouldn't do wrestling trivia here. I think it's safe to say all 4 of us are movie people, though, correct? I mean,
I guess
we enjoy movies to a degree.
I actually used to work in a video store.
Same.
Right. I think we talked about that a little bit too last time as well. So,
wait, did you work at a Blockbuster?
No, I worked at an independent video store.
Okay, I worked at a movie gallery.
What was it called? I want to know.
Video City?
Did you guys have? No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you asking, Grant?
No, I was just curious because everybody's local video store had like, I feel like it was just the same 5 or 6 names that like every town just cycled through, So like we had Video USA, And I think one of them was called Video Visions or something like that, which now there's that band Vision Video, which I'm pretty sure was probably based on like a local video shop's name for real. You know, I've never looked into it.
You had a Hollywood Video?
Yeah,
I had a Hollywood
I think Hollywood
video
was a chain though, I believe.
I think it was a chain, yeah.
So anyways, I'm always just curious to know what people's local independent video store was called whenever
Video City, which was a local chain. They actually had multiple locations. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you guys
now we held on to them. We had one of the last blockbusters too. I come from Anchorage, Alaska, and that's all we had to do was video stores. So I didn't just work in any old video store. I worked in one of the last surviving video stores.
There you go.
When video stores died. We had one of the top selling Suncoast videos before all those places died.
Oh man,
I forgot about that.
I love Suncoast, man.
I might still be there. Honestly, I might still be trucking. Yeah,
in some way or another. Moonbeam, you had a thought.
I just watch videos. So yeah, hit me with some video trivia. I'm down.
I was just asking MrHartgrave if they had a back room at their video store.
Oh god, no, there was a back room and I hated it.
Yeah,
you hated it.
No, look, we didn't have a back room. All that
was the worst thing to be told as an employee, for me at least, was like go straighten up the back room. I was like, oh god, dude.
Oh yeah. Right.
Clean the tapes.
But no, ours were at Movie Gallery. They were on the top shelf.
Okay. So you couldn't see them from the bottom. Yeah.
I mean, you could.
That's so tacky. That is insane. There's no you can't do that now.
No.
No, things were wild back then.
Oh yeah.
Trying to remember which one. One of ours had like themed sections too. So like the sci-fi section looked like a spaceship, and then like the horror section looked like a haunted house and things like that.
Well, see, that's a fun store.
Like that.
Not at Movie Gallery. It was sterile.
Yeah. A lot of them were like that. That was just the case.
Mine was kind of smelly.
But and
smelly and bad. I mean, it was
like a movie library sort of, right?
Kind of that vibe. And then the back room really smelled like, oh god, the back room was really bad.
We stopped. We don't talk about the back room anymore. The back room is for now.
Are there people out there watching that? Number one, are there people out there watching this? Number two, are there people out there watching this that have no idea what we're talking about? Should we?
No,
we're putting this on. No. They're gonna know. They're gonna know.
Everyone knows what the back room is.
And they're all gonna know. They're all gonna know what the scrambled channels are as well.
I don't know how we're gonna segue to this, but I do have a movie trivia.
Move right into it.
Just run right into it. You just ram right into it.
Get in.
That's all I can do. That's all I can do sometimes. It just runs off the rails. So being as though we have Sting's last match was what we're talking about here, I have a round called Last Movie Lines. So I'm going to give you the last line of a movie, and then you try and tell me the name of said film.
I love this. This is literally what people would do to me in the video store. They would come in and they would say stuff like this, and I would get it every time. So I'm going to.
Oh, dang.
Well, then this might be the game for you.
They'd be like, I literally found the video. A guy came in. He's like, the cover's green. There's an old man on. I'm like, right over here. Great Expectations.
I love that.
Hey, all right.
His face looks like a puzzle. Oh, that's the game. Anyway.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to give you the last line of a movie. You tell me the name of the movie. Just yell it out when you think you know it. The first one is, I don't have to see it, Dottie. I lived it.
Oh, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
1 point for Moonbeam. That is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. We're going to go through these real quick here. The next one is, I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Silence of the Lambs.
Correct. Silence of the Lambs. Moonbeam, 2 points. Nice.
Yeah. Moonbeam's crushing it. I'm like over here stupid. I talked myself up and I
look what you did. What about
I must mention that sometimes it did take me an hour.
Well, that's okay. You had the time back then. Ernest Hemingway once wrote, "The world is a fine place and worth fighting for." I agree with the second part.
Kick-Ass.
Nope.
All right.
City of Angels.
Nope. MrHartgrave, you have a guess?
No.
They mentioned
that is 7. Yeah. That is the end. That is 7.
Oh, okay.
That's narration. Morgan
really?
Freeman. Yeah, Morgan Freeman. All right,
I always just turned it off after the joke's in there. Once I find out what's in the box, I get a good.
That's true. Like once you find out, the movie's over.
That's it. I had a good time.
What about You Met Me at a Very Strange Time in My Life?
Oh, Fight Club.
That is Fight Club. Nice,
Yeah.
Brandon. Very good. What about Life Moves Pretty Fast?
Pretty fast. Except Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh my God, I didn't even finish it, and Moonbeam
You didn't
jumped
have
in on
to.
that one.
Yeah.
That was good. Okay, 3 Moonbeam. No one's going to catch you, but we'll do the last couple anyway.
We'll see.
Why don't we just wait here for a little while, see what happens? It's going to
Big
drive you mad.
Lebowski?
What's that?
Nah.
No. You say Multiplicity? No.
No,
I
Why
said
don't we
Big
just wait here for a
Lebowski.
while, see what happens? All right. That is
Wait.
from... Oh, what do you think? You got it?
no.
That is
was-
from The Thing.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
man. Okay.
No,
From
I,
the 80s. All right, and I had a tiebreaker here. Not worth any points. We'll throw it out here anyway. You maniacs, you blew it up. Ah, damn you!
Planet of the Apes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes.
I
That was
kind of
the-
knew that one. I was
That was
going to
the
say
layup I
something.
would have. Yeah, see, I knew you would know that. That was the layup I put out there in case we had a tie.
Or like someone really stupid like Mr. Hartgrave used to work his
Jeez,
video store.
Moonbeam. I know,
Anyway.
Moonbeam, you went in and just cleaned
Just-
up. It's like you were
I mean,
waiting for that round.
I
I think
don't know.
you really pay attention at the end of the movies.
Everyone
I
else
just
is
really
usually
don't.
sleeping at the end of the movie,
I'm
and Moonbeam
done.
is wide awake. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I've seen Silence of the Lambs 1,000 times.
I know. Well,
Ferris Bueller.
that's true.
Sometimes
Great.
movies go on too long.
Yeah.
And then I find like certain things. It's like we talked about this not too long ago. I think where like if it's on in a hotel, you're gonna watch it. You're gonna watch it. It's a rule. You have to
HGT.
watch
Well,
it.
no. QVC. Yes.
QVC,
absolutely.
HGTV, Naked and Afraid. I think is
Naked
the
and
one.
Afraid,
Moonbeam's
that's
a
my
big fan of
show.
in a hotel, specifically in the hotel though. Nowhere
Now,
else. but
only in a hotel.
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm not watching that shit at home.
Last time I was in a hotel, I watched a documentary on Bill Cosby
Okay.
that was informative, funny, and horrifying.
Of
Yeah.
course it was. That
It was
sounds-
wild. And it was like a 6-part documentary. So I watched it like every night I was in that hotel room. Psychopath. It was like the most depressing way to go to bed.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So that's funny because we always talk about how I think that's 2 times in a row we had a guest on now that did not win the game. Because
suck
Brandon
Suck it, goth boy.
last episode, Brandon beat Cody Chamberlain. Almost said Mr. Cody Chamberlain, but that wouldn't have.
Mr. Cody
But,
Chamberlain.
it's great. He's worked on like he's a comic book creator. He's worked on like 30 Days of Night and things like that.
Yeah.
Has a
Hey, that's something else set in Alaska, isn't it?
it is.
It is.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
one that he did was set in Alaska, but
Oh,
yeah, he
yeah.
did, and he has a comic called Punks the Comic, which it's all like all the artwork is photo collage in the comic, so it looks like an old punk rock kind of.
Oh, that's
flyer
cool.
Sort of thing.
That's cool.
It's pretty dope. So that one almost got picked up by MTV for an animated series.
Should have.
You know what happened? You know why they didn't do it? At least in Cody, if you're watching, please correct me if I have it wrong. But basically, it was going to be part of Liquid Television, like they were going to revive Liquid Television.
Nice.
And then one of the shows on Liquid Television tanked, and then MTV was like, you know what? We're just not going to do animation at all anymore. And so they
Yeah,
The one with
I-
the giant head.
which
what
one
was
are you
it?
talking about?
Was it just like the head?
The
What
head.
was it? The Max.
Oh
and
yeah. The Max was on that in the original one.
Yeah.
I think Aeon Flux might have been part of that.
Aeon Flux is my jam.
Yeah.
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 Loved Aeon Flux. That was
So-
the whole show for me, really, just waiting for Aeon Flux to hit.
There you go. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people watched it just for that show.
Yeah.
It really did carry that
Standalone
along.
show. They spun that off into its own show too. It was crazy weird. I don't know if anybody remembers it.
Oh yeah, I remember it. I remember
That's wild.
because I remember I was working at. I'll tell you all right now. I was working at Best Buy when the movie came out on Blu-ray. I think when they did that movie, and so they really tried to like revive the animated series as far as like DVD sales went at that
Okay.
point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was a big deal.
Did you ever see that? Is that movie good?
I didn't see it. I'm just gonna choose to
Wow.
believe that it's not worth my time to see it. Yeah.
No
I
one saw it.
imagine
I mean,
that's-
Equilibrium is great. It's by the same guy that did Equilibrium.
Okay.
And we can all agree that
Oh,
Equilibrium
okay.
is awesome.
That makes sense. That does make sense that they would have got that guy to do that.
Like, and as far as I know, he hasn't done. And I don't know. Look him up. Has he done anything since? But that's the last I heard of him. Is Aeon Flux did not set the world on fire.
Yeah.
Probably the way it was supposed to.
Maybe that was the problem. he did that movie to end his career.
Equilibrium's so damn good, though.
Yeah.
I never saw it.
Never saw it.
Oh
Never
my
saw
God.
Equilibrium or Aeon Flux. The show or the Aeon Flux, the show, or Aeon Flux?
Equilibrium.
I never saw Equilibrium.
Oh, yeah. It's it's worth a watch. Worth it.
It's good. I mean, it's not like the most original thing on the planet. It's a lot of people were like, it's like Matrix. I mean, it's not, but like kind of is.
Okay, fine. I'll tell you this before we close the whole thing out, because we're just kind of chatting about whatever. But there is a movie that came out before the Matrix that was like the Matrix before the Matrix.
Johnny Mnemonic.
What's that?
Existenz.
Yes, that's the one. Yes,
Greg just said it too.
With Jude Law.
Yeah.
Existenz.
I mean, nothing like the Matrix,
but also like the whole thing, like they're in a simulation,
like plugging into another
it's like the Matrix if the Matrix was super horny.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
No, it is definitely.
Isn't that what we all want though? We want to, I was going to say something, but yeah, we all want that.
There's a part of the movie where Jude Law is like eating a chicken or something like that, and he realizes that the bones fit together into a gun. And so he constructs a gun out of these chicken bones and like.
It's a David Cronenberg film. Do I really need to say more?
It's the most like casual, fun David Cronenberg film.
Yeah, definitely is.
I think you're right when you consider that none of the other films are. I mean, I like The Fly. I think The Fly is more fun.
I like The Fly.
Yeah, I mean,
The Fly is ridiculous.
This is the panel of people that would like The Fly, so
I love The Fly.
The Fly is so good. I mean, that's like one of the first movies I saw where like I realized I love movies. I mean, that's a great movie.
The maggot birth scene.
Yeah,
everything about that movie
so
is
good.
off the rails and amazing.
I actually made a The Fly T-shirt because Cronenberg was supposed to be at Frightmare one year, and I had it never made it. But
look,
never got it made. But the design's done.
Do you wanna, since we're talking about movies and things like that, and our upcoming shows, and because I don't know about this because we're talking about our show in Biloxi in May, but in November it might be easier from wherever Parts Unknown are to get to Savannah, Georgia.
Hey.
It's rumored that Parts Unknown is somewhere in central New Jersey.
Okay, gotcha. It's rumored, not
rumored.
Well,
but
Sting's not going to be there.
Sting won't be there, but we were talking earlier about Moonbeam and I were talking earlier about one of the guests we're going to have there and how it might be a problem.
I'm all right. Look at this. Like it's gonna be a cluster.
I mean, do you want to elaborate or no? Or are we gonna leave it be?
Okay, well, I'll just be really quick. I'm not very cool. Period. And I wish I was, but I'm not. I met freaking Romy from Romy and Michelle's high school reunion at Pensacon, and it was embarrassing. I kept telling the people that I was with, I was like, I don't want to meet her. I just want to look at her. I just want to like, walk by and be like, well, there she is. I saw her. They were like, no, go meet her. And I was like, I don't want to. And they were like, no, go. So I go over there and I turn into Chris Farley from that Saturday Night Live sketch. And it's just really embarrassing. Down by the river? Yeah, no,
no, not that one.
No, I turn into. You remember when you were with the Beatles?
Nice.
That was awesome.
Remember you in that movie? That was awesome. Yeah.
So anyway, so can I announce it? Oh, you've already announced it. We've got Chris Alexander.
It's already on the internet.
Yeah, we've got Chris Alexander from he wrote for Rue Morgue magazine.
Yeah.
Coming to Preserve Halloween, and I'm just not going to be cool at all around him because he's very funny and talented.
But whenever the whole thing to pile on the whole meeting Romy thing, because you came back and you were telling me about it.
Yeah,
and you were like, it was bad. It was really bad. It was terrible. And I
haven't been able to sleep.
I kept going. There's no way it was as bad as you said it was. There's no way it was as bad. And then you told me that you said at least 3 or 4 times, "I'm sorry, I'm so awkward." And then I was like, "Oh, it was bad." If you said it out loud during the thing. So anyway,
it was embarrassing. Yeah. And then the people that I was with, they were like, "Why don't you get a photo?" Like a photo from her table. Like I have any place to put any of that. I don't like stuff like that. I don't buy stuff like that. I don't want it. I'm not going to hang it up. I'm not going to stick it in a desk drawer. It's going to either go in the trash or I'm going to give it to somebody, and it's going to have my name on it. It's going to be like to Moonbeam, and then it's going to have a movie quote. And
right.
Peter Robbins, gave me an auto. Yeah. I gave that away. I was like, it's got my name on it. But anyway, I don't like stuff. And, yeah, it's just I was just very awkward because they were like, "Well, which one do you want?" And I was like, "It doesn't matter."
But the thing about that is that's a very short list of people that want to make you like that too, though.
Right? Yeah, I was like that, or I will be like that around Chris Alexander. I will be like that around Rhonda Shear, and I will be like that if I ever meet.
Rhonda Shear's gonna be there.
No, God, are you kidding? I wish.
Yeah.
One day.
Up all night.
Yeah, because I was a big fan of Joe Bob Briggs, and we got him, and I was a real genius around him. And then told Greg
a real horse maneuver.
Oh yeah. I was like, I'm your biggest fan. Yeah, I loved you when I was a kid.
I mean, I don't know. Gilbert Gottfried is amazing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can't think about Up All Night and Rhonda Shear without thinking about Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every time I saw him perform, which I got to see him perform twice, and each time it was phenomenal.
Awesome.
I'm sure it was.
Piece again, right?
Gilbert Gottfried is my favorite member of the Ramones. I don't know if you've seen him as Gilbert Ramone.
I do remember that. Yeah.
I have seen. I have one of my favorite clips is Gilbert as Dracula on the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that is amazing.
Well, look, I think what this outlines is that we got a really awesome slate of things happening very soon. We talked about Mobile Bay Anime Fest coming up April 20th, May 25th and 26th over in Biloxi. We got Southernerds Fest. I'm going to be there. Moonbeam's going to be there. Brandon's going to be there. MrHartgrave's going to be there. I'm just putting that on you right now. I'm sorry.
There's pizza. There's pizza. There's a pillow wall promised.
You have Sting. Once again, I don't need any of these other things.
I'm going to say it again. How far will you go to meet the icon?
I will sleep ass to ass with Grant Fletcher.
Well, come on, baby.
Putting it down right now. And then in September, we got Alabama Comic-Con coming up as well. So we're still announcing people for that. And then, November, man, Preserve Halloween Fest over in Savannah, Georgia. I'm real excited about it. It's going to be a great time.
I'm really excited.
Look, if y'all haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. You really, really, really should. And hit the like button. Leave us a comment there. And also, head on over MrHartgrave from Parts Unknown on YouTube and hit the subscribe button as well, because there's a lot of awesome videos on that channel too, and y'all need to definitely check those out. Either way, y'all, we will be back next week for another visit right here on The Humble Show. But until then, stay humble.